So a Japanese industrial designer and a Chinese keyboard brand walk into a Kickstarter campaign and somehow came out with the best looking low profile keyboard I've ever put on my desk. Hey everyone, welcome back to Scoop Bar. Today we're looking at the Chosfox Vero75, a 75% low profile mechanical keyboard with full CNC aluminum body, Tri-Mo wireless, QMK and VIA support, and a design that honestly stopped me in mid-unbox. Before we get into it, quick reminder, Scoop Bar is a passion project run by me and my good friend V alongside our full-time jobs. So if you're enjoying these videos, a like and subscribe goes a long way for us. And if you're interested in picking this board up, we'll have the affiliate links down in the description. All right, let's get into it. So out the box, you get the keyboard, a printed manual, which I always appreciate, Mac replacement keycaps, a USB dongle for 2.4 gigahertz, a Type A to USB-C cable, and a keycap and switch puller. No carrying case though, which we'll talk about later. First thing you notice picking this up, it's heavy for a low profile board. Full aluminum, CNC machine, it feels expensive. And visually, it just doesn't look like any other low profile boards out there. The curves are continuous, top, side, bottom, it's all one flowing shape. Now, one thing to be aware of right away, when you pull keycaps off this board, the switches can come with them. Just be careful, pull the cap off and don't pinch yourself on the pins. Those low profile switches can be real mean. It's not a big deal once you know, but it caught me off guard the first time and my fingies are paying for it now. The layout is a compact 75%, 84 keys, non-exploded arrows, which just means there's no gap separating the arrow cluster from the rest. Some people find that harder to navigate without a blocker. Personally, I understand the need for a smaller footprint, so it's a fair trade-off in my book, but worth knowing before you buy. Quick specs rundown. You got hot swap support for Kailh Choc V1 and V2 switches, south-facing RGB on all keys, 3600 mAh battery on wireless version, 1000 Hz polling on both wired and 2.4 GHz, and physical toggle switches on the bottom for your connection mode. That last part, I love it. No guessing, no holding key combos, just flip a switch. They also sell a wired-only version, which is great for office settings that don't allow wireless for security reasons. One caveat here though, there's no onboard physical key mapping. You still need VIA web apps, so if your IT department blocks web apps too, that's a gap. Would have been nice to see some kind of offline key mapping solution for those environments. So who's behind this? Chosfox is a China-based keyboard brand that started getting attention at around 2022, mostly for their switches. The Hanami Dango, White Fox, Voyager, they've since been building out their keyboard lineup. But the real story here is the designer, Masro, also known as PMD or Plus M Design, is a Japanese industrial designer, and he's been in the custom keyboard space since around 2022, and he's been collaborating with Chosfox for a while now. Their history together goes Fox 65, that was a 65% with flowing curved lines, then the Geonix 48, a 40% ortholinear with a sharp industrial look, then the Geonix Revision 2, which smoothed things out, and now the Vero75. Masro actually published a design note about this board, and it's worth reading. He talks about his work evolving from showing structure to dissolving structure. The Vero75 apparently is him dissolving. No hard edges, no logos, no description, just shape. He wanted something where light flows naturally and shadows fall softly, and I think he pulled it off. The name Vero comes from Latin. It means truly or correctly, which is pretty bold thing to name your keyboard, but when you hold it, you kind of get it. All right, let's talk about what makes this thing physically different. The entire body is one continuous curve form, top to sides to bottom, no corners. They use 220 grit bead blasted anodized 6063 aluminum, and the finish is smooth, just incredibly premium. The 5-degree typing angle is built right into the curve of the body. There's no kickstand, no adjustable feet. The angle is just exists because that's the shape. It's comfortable for me, but if you're someone who needs to adjust your angle, this isn't going to work for you. Not a deal breaker for me personally, personally, but I can see it being one for others. Flip it over, there's this fun little detail. The cutout for the mode switches and LED indicators form a smiley face on the bottom. It's playful without being childish. Masro's signature PMD is engraved on the inside of the case too, hidden unless you open it up. I like that kind of quiet pride in your work. Inside, the engineering is impressive for how thin this board is. You got a gasket mount with a flex cut PC plate floating in the case, and 6 layers of sound absorbing material crammed into this limited vertical space. There's a daughter board USB-C connection with flat flex cable to the PCB. They packed a lot of thought into a very small package. Now, a few practical things. I don't think you can set this on top of a laptop unless you disable the built-in keyboard. So if that's your workflow, heads up. Also, no carrying case included and no dongle storage for the board. That last part bugs me because if you commute a lot, you're basically limited to Bluetooth unless you want to risk losing the tiny 2.4 gigahertz dongle floating around in your bag. A little storage would have been a nice touch. The large rubber feet on the bottom though, great. This board does not slide around, which is exactly what you want from something that you're going to be moving between setups. This is where the Vero75 separates itself. Every other low profile board I've used looks functional, fine, normal. This one looks designed. 2 color options right now, deep space gray and space silver. I have the gray and it's interesting depending on the lighting. It's one of those finishes that you have to see in person. The RGB is solid, south facing LEDs, and because of the light color plate inside, the glow actually pushes out nicely. It's not just a faint underglow, it throws light. That said, the included keycaps are printed, not shine through, so in the dark, the backlight shines around the legends rather than through them. Shine through caps would have helped legibility a lot more, something to keep in mind. Compared to what Keychron and NuPhy are doing in a low profile space, Chosfox carved out their own look here. It doesn't look like either of those, and out of the 3, this is the one I would pick up for myself. The board runs a gasket mount with that flex cut plate and all 6 layers of dampening, and the result is a muted foamy sound signature. It's not hollow, it's not harsh, it's not plasticky. It sounds like a proper mechanical keyboard, just shorter. The type feel sits somewhere between the middle, not super soft, not super firm. There's controlled cushion when you bottom out. It's pleasant. Now the spacebar had ticking sound out of the box. I needed to tune the plate steps to get rid of it. The factory tuning on the stabilizer could be better across the board. That ticking is something you might need to address yourself. Also, after some use, the switches can develop a slight spring crunch. I've seen this with every low profile switch I've used though. It's not a Chosfox problem, it's a low profile switch industry problem. Unless you want to lube and prep them yourself, it's just part of the deal right now. This is a foamy sounding board, so if you don't like that muted sound profile, this isn't for you. And there's not much you can do to change it given how the internal structure is designed. The silent switch options are also available if you need it because you have a shared workspace. This board was not designed to be opened up or for tinkers in mind. The customizations is largely centered on swapping keycaps and switches. Something to also to keep in mind, there's no standardization for low profile switches like full mechanical switches, so be mindful of the switches you swap in. One more thing, for this board specifically, I wish it supported ZMK firmware. QMK and VIA are great for wired use and customization, but ZMK is better optimized for wireless battery life. Speaking of battery, there's no official claimed battery life, but I got close to a full work week with lights off before needing to charge. Your results may vary depending on a bunch of different factors, but that's a solid starting point. So let's wrap this up. Who should actually buy this? If you want the most premium feeling low profile keyboard on the market right now, I think this is it. The build quality, the design, the materials, it's all there. If you're an office worker or professional who wants something that looks great on a desk and doesn't sound like a laptop keyboard, this hits. If you commute with your board and want something durable and compact, the aluminum body gives you confidence. Just bring your own pouch or case. Who should skip it? If you need adjustable angles, a numpad, or you want to sit it on your laptop, look elsewhere. If you're a heavy modder, this is not a tinker board. Treat it as a pre-build. If you don't like the foamy sound signature, this won't be your thing. The price ranges from 141 USD for the kit to 166 for the tri-mode with silent switches. That is above Keychron and NuPhy territory, and you're paying for the design and build quality. Is it worth it? For me, yes. This is the low profile I'd reach for. Where should Chosfox focus next? Software. ZMK support for better wireless battery life, some kind of offline or onboard key mapping option for corporate settings, a digital manual on the product page, dongle storage, carrying case. The hardware is dialed in, the ecosystem around it just needs to catch up. All right, that's the Vero75 by Chosfox and Masro. Love you all, and I'll see you in the next build.